I'm Kevin McIlwee, and I am the founder and the chairman of Jersey Marine Conservation. And actually, all of this began in this building at a meeting on the top floor. And I think he's still here. But if you want to blame anybody for you now having to listen to me, it's Greg Morell over there, who was a big supporter of the work in the early days. And before I actually go into this, and I'm pretty conscious that I'm probably going to run out of time, so I'm going to be like a Duracell battery. I'll suddenly be told stop, so I apologize for that. But I'm kind of like being the invisible parent of Sam on a lot of occasions, and it's been fantastic to help Sam come to the position where she is now. And so many people in this room have supported what we've been doing, the organizations and all of those sort of things. So I chose as the title, Umbrellas and Chaos. Now, I think that if I asked you all to kind of describe the function of an umbrella, you'd be able to maybe link it to some of the important habitats and species that we've got in the marine environment. But you might be thinking about, well, where does he get chaos from then? And a little bit of a quote by D.H. Lawrence, which I'm not going to read out. But I mean, obviously, we've got this concept of some things are umbrellas like trees and different species that we can get in our environments. But there is this chaos element as well. And I think that the concepts of chaos are creeping into our task to try and reduce biodiversity and to try and deal with climate change. And the reason why that is important is because any attempt to model what is actually going to happen is extremely difficult, because actually what's happening out there is non-linear. It's so difficult to predict. So the work that you're all doing, this field work, going out there and gathering information, is so critical. Because if we do just rely on models and predictions, we love predicting things, but how often do we get it wrong? A bit, a lot. It can almost be totally there. So what I'm going to talk about really is kind of how Jersey Marine Conservation is trying to deal with this challenge of looking at what's out there, what is needing to be protected, why we're focusing on umbrella species, where we're doing this, how we're doing this, and things like that. And I think that the Marine Spatial Plan is an incredible bit of work, and we should really congratulate the team that put that together. Because it's moved us so far forward from where we were when I started up Jersey Marine Conservation, 2011, I think it was, something like that. And looking now at some of these aspects of the Marine Spatial Plan, the challenge, but also the welcoming thing for me and my organization, is that we actually are a part of that and bringing everything forward. So it really is absolutely fantastic. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a snapshot into kind of this year. We've been really busy. We've been surveying all around the island of Jersey. We've been down to the Sauvage Reef, and thanks Alderney Wildlife, I beg your pardon, because we had a fantastic trip up there, and with their support, we're able to get a lot of the information that we are gathering. So it's been absolutely amazing. Hit a bit of a down through the COVID period, where the number of reports and information that we were gathering dropped, but now we're beginning to climb back up again and really trying to sort of meet previous levels and even take it a little bit further. So I'm going to kind of take you into an umbrella species that I've been particularly interested in, and this is what is commonly called the pink sea fan. The Latin buffs around you, Eunicella verrucosa, and when we start abbreviation, it's just a little EV, isn't it? So we know what we're talking about. It's a cold water coral, an octocoral, and it has some interesting species that grow on it, and a huge variety of species that do actually grow in that vicinity. So if we find this pink sea fan, we know that that area is going to be extremely biodiverse and is indicating an important area that we should actually include within the Marine Spatial Plan network of protected areas. And I've been doing over the years is I've actually been going out, measuring the sea fans, and we were very kindly given permission by, I can't think of her name, his name's gone out of my head now, but we were given a license to gather samples. And we've even looked at growing the sea fan. Chris Isaacs is somewhere over there, and he has this amazing laboratory at his house. He's taken over his house. His parents used to live there, but they don't anymore. They kind of are given a little space to exist. But growing them and finding out about the eggs and all of that sort of thing, and dispersals and stuff like that. So just a little snapshot, because we're moving through this at a rate of knots. But some of the chart toppers of the kind of species that we will find in the vicinity of the pink sea fans, which indicate why it's so important. So what I was given the opportunity to do by Sean Detman over there was to join JICAS, and I don't know whether Sean thinks it was a good move on his part or a bad move, but he gave me the opportunity to bring all of that information that I'd gathered together and put it together in an MSc. MSc normally stands for Master of Science, but particularly at that time, I think it more stands for Might Survive COVID, you know, and that definitely helped me get through it. But what that helped me do was to predict where we can find those species. So it's kind of giving indicators of important marine conservation areas where we're able to identify those features that will indicate that in terms of the geology, the topology, and associated things like current, temperature, and things like that. And so what I did with all of that information was I used Paul's fantastic biotope map that he put together there, and using those layers of different types of seabed, I was able then to bring that together and look at where the sea fans were located in terms of where in relationship to the island, but where within these reef systems as well. So a fantastic kind of development of those sort of things. And having finished the MSc, I still wanted to carry on the investigation, and a fantastic opportunity that's been given to me is to work with Exeter University. And again, what we've started doing is we've been gathering samples of the pink sea fans, and what we're looking at is the distribution of it, which has got a strong relationship with some of the other species as well. And this was the Alderney surveys that we did with Alex skippering the boat and other people up there, and some of the sites that we visited. And there is a university student, a PhD student, Kyla Wheatley-Kornblum, and she's bringing all that information together. And she very kindly sent me her latest research, which is on the dispersal of the pink sea fans. And you can see this movement up through our waters. And over the last couple of days, I've been talking to some of the French team about maybe we can get some more information about the Breton coast and that sort of area. But the anomaly there, if you look at that, it kind of the sea fan does not go any further east than there. And that's the sort of information that through the genome analysis that Kyla's doing, we hope to find out. So Freddie's talked about the Sauvage Reef, Sam's talked about the Sauvage Reef, and this really is a fantastic area. So fantastic that even his nibs, yeah, he uses it, but just absolutely incredible. And Marine Resources took the Norm LeBrock down there, and the thing that came out of the surveys that were carried out was that this idea that we got of the Sauvage, that people like Sue over there you talked about many years ago, this fantastic area, actually is a lot more complex than we thought. And the whole, I mean, it is really incredible, you know, this opportunity to go to that area and look at what's there, so complex, and we really want to learn more about it. It is unique. Paul's found rocks there that represent ancient seabeds. We've got sediment areas there that might even have some fossils in it. And so this idea that we're actually going to make it into you know, a no-take area and stuff like that is just incredible. I'm going to cut this short, but I think, in fact, it's a bit long. 2, 1, go. Okay. So I'm going to have to cut that short, but you know, some of the video that we're bringing together, but you can see there, for example, that the sea fans, they're important areas for the rays and the sharks' eggs, and we're finding all different types of rays. And this is one of the conundrums that we've had so far. One of the problems, obviously, with the Sauvage Reef, and again, this has been alluded to in a number of the talks, is destructive mechanisms. And you know, these are the kind of worries that we've got, is that if we don't protect them, then this stuff like, for example, you know, mobile gear does damage that can take years and years to get over. How many minutes have we got left?
3.
3, okay, right. I'll keep cracking on then. So now the other part of this is our work with seagrass. And there's been a lot of studies done on seagrass. And one of the concerns, and you can see it in the top picture up there, is this damage being caused by the mooring systems, chains and blocks and stuff like that. And the areas within this unique habitat that we've got, the St. Catherine's seagrass meadows, is being damaged by the mooring systems. And you know, through JICAS and Marine and Ports of Jersey, we've been looking at these areas and looking at a way that we can protect those types of rich habitats from the damage that's been caused. And one of my team, Emily Dow, we sponsored her for her MSc, and she did studies which really do demonstrate that actually there is a big difference between the actual mooring areas, the scrapes, and the other areas. So what we did is we looked into environmentally friendly mooring buoys, and you've got the conventional system, which of course, sorry, I'll just go back on that. When the tide comes in and out, we have a 12-meter tide in Jersey, and the chain does huge damage to the actual seabed area. So we've persuaded Ports of Jersey to implement these new environmentally friendly mooring systems. 2 designs actually being tested, but actually if you look there, sorry, I'm going too fast, but when the tide actually drops, we've got the system is on the surface there, so we're reducing the amount of damage being caused to the seabed. So this has been a kind of a real whistle-stop tour, really. And again, sorry, Paul, but I'm using one of your demonstrations from one of the earlier inter-island environment projects. But, you know, we feel that we can make a huge contribution. And I think the message that kind of I'm taking out to you all here is that, you know, the work that we're all doing is really important. And sometimes it can be a bit disheartening. It can be a bit of a battle. You know, I'm on the phone or talking to Sam or Paul or whoever and saying, you haven't given us enough recognition for what we're doing, you know. And they call me the Marmite person. You either love me or hate me, you know, and I can be a bit of a pain, can't I, Chris? But anyway, that's me. So I just want to say a big thank you for letting me talk to you all, tell you a bit about what we're doing, but also extend that to all of you and say, you're all doing a fantastic job. I've loved meeting you all, and well done for what you do. Keep it all going. Thank you.